tricks and techniques for using Adobe Acrobat.
Steve Dotto here with Steve Fair in the podcast that cares, because it's the podcast that is teaching you about Adobe Acrobat, which is, I don't want to go over the top, but it's going to change your life.
It's killer.
It's going to change your life. Killer. Okay, in our last podcast, we started talking about collaborative computing, Web 2.0. I hate those terms, the information superhighway, that sort of stuff, but collaborative computing, the whole concept, and we see it so much more in things like Facebook, where people really start to understand the social networking side, the business social networking tools that are available through adobe.com and acrobat.com, are profound.
Well, I think, why should the teenagers have all the fun? Social networking has been great for all that kind of stuff, but documents are the currency of what we do every day. Mm-hmm. And where's the social networking for documents? Well, it's in Acrobat 9, specifically in combination with something called Acrobat.com. Really cool stuff.
We looked at Buzzword, the online collaborative word processor that allows us to work on documents and collaborate on documents, and we'll be returning to Buzzword more as the podcasts go on. But today we're going to talk about screen sharing, which has been around for a long time, but has been accepted on various levels depending on your organization's commitment to the technology they've implemented.
Well, here's what I think is important about all this stuff, is people need to start thinking about whether emailing somebody a file is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It might be the right thing to do, but you know what? In this world where the information is it changes so quickly, the partners you're working on change so quickly, you got to be really careful who you're emailing files to. I mean, these things are really important parts of your business.
Yeah, they can contain the jewels of your business. And if you're emailing them to somebody who tomorrow is your competitor, what are you giving away? And
you can't live in a world where you castle your data. You castle it behind firewalls and do all that stuff, and nobody ever gets to see it, because that's not the way real work is done today. So you've got to deal with this paradox of sharing and controlling, and I think Acrobat 9 does a really, really good job of that.
And what they've really done is they've taken a tool that you guys have used internally forever at Adobe, and to the envy of the rest of the world, and they've made it accessible to all of us.
I'm going to show you guys right now something called ConnectNow, which is a feature and a capability within Acrobat that uses Acrobat.com to do it. And I got this capability about 5 years ago, and I swear, if you try to take this away from me, I would die. The ability to share your screen is so cool and so productive.
And with a high-speed internet that we have at home and access, this isn't like video conferencing and screen sharing things that you've had in the past, which is kludgy and slow. This really works.
It's super easy. It's cloud computing. It's Web 2.0, but it sits here in the Collaborate menu in Acrobat 9. It's super simple. Hit Collaborate, and then you simply say, share my screen. What could be simpler than that? And when I do that, I get this interface here. This is the ConnectNow interface. Mm-hmm. And hopefully it comes up. Your computer is clearly much faster than mine, because you're the boss, and I get the slow computer. But you get this environment, and this environment allows you to invite somebody in to look at your document. So what I've got right now is I've got this PDF document up, and everything that's happening on my screen now,
I see on my screen.
You can see. We can chat on it here.
Mm-hmm. There's a little chat window.
But more often than not, we're going to be talking over voice lines.
Yeah, and typically people think that when they do this sort of thing, that they have to use the voice and the audio capabilities and the video capabilities of an application like this. You don't. Use your tools that work best. Use audio conferencing over your phone, which gives you usually you have a good telephone for that, and then just share the screen. And I use this all the time for presentations, preparing presentations with clients. They see the screens that I'm working on, they see the slides that I'm working on, but I haven't sent the document back and forth and had to do any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, everything that I can show on my screen could be a CAD file, could be a PDF, everything that you can that I can see on my screen, I can now share with anybody in the world, no matter where they are, and we can have a meaningful dialogue. And when I'm done, I know they focused on the right things that I wanted them to focus on, and when we're done, I have the document, and you don't have the document. I think that's really key.
And let's look at some of the subtle benefits. You said a CAD document. One of the real industries that can use this a lot are all of the engineering industry. I mean, that's a powerful, powerful tool for them. And they use different pieces of software.
Very expensive pieces of software that if you had to go and force a partner to buy in a preliminary stage where they don't know if you're going to be doing business together, and you got to get them to go buy software, that becomes very, very painful.
And sure, there are standard export formats that typically don't work.
No, they just
don't. You waste a lot of time trying to get a document into a viewable form and never end up using it. So that's huge. The other big huge deal is you don't leave them with a document that you don't want them to have access to in the future.
that could go stale, that could get old, that could become proprietary or intellectual property. I mean, this is stuff that you just don't want flying around the world.
So to talk to me about a couple of the other industries that might use this. We know engineering and design.
Manufacturing,
use it.
yeah, engineering, construction companies are using it, architects are using it, lawyers are using it like crazy, because this is extremely important kind of capability for all of the legal community.
And because it's Flash-based, it's all Web 2.0. You can access it from any computer. So it's platform agnostic. It's a Mac, Windows, or Linux machine.
Yeah.
But also because it's all about mobility, somebody in the field with a wireless modem in a construction site can talk to the engineer. The engineer can call up the drawings on their computer, and on the little notebook that the guy has in the field, he can look at the drawings and they can deal with issues right away.
Yeah, you can simply say, look here.
Yes.
Look at this part of the CAD document and show him exactly what he wants them to see, no matter where he is.
Sharing is special.
Sharing is good.
Sharing is Acrobat special.
Visit www.acrolounge.com and sign up to win one of 10 iPod Touches. Good luck.